Okay, let's start the lesson. Please write down the heading PHP cookies. So these are not actually something to eat. So cookies, maybe when it comes to your mind, you think it's something like we can eat. It's not. So cookies are basically used to remember status, right, in the client side. Typically, these are used to remember status in client side. Cookies are maintaining in client side. We used to remember things in client side. To do that, we can use cookies. Okay, let's see a small example. Actually, this is very simple one. Cookies, not much hard. Let's create an application which is using cookies. Actually, I would like to create a okay, let's use a form, HTML form. Copying this and taking a new file and pasting it there. You can also start creating this with me. And this is basically, let's say, login. Title is login. And then you have, so this no need to have multi-part form data. Let's use a simple one. And this is, let's say, login.php. Method is post. And then you have the username and the password, or email and the password. Let's say username, input type text, and that is UN. Password, input type password, type name is password, then no need of profile picture. Let's remove that and let's keep the submit and use as login. I'm going to save this. Actually, I'm going to save this in my server directory. That is compulsory. In my case, I'm going to save this in MAMP, Mac Apache MySQL PHP MAMP. In your case, you can save in SAMP and inside htdocs. I'm going to create a new folder called login system. Login system. Inside that, I'm going to save this as index.php. Okay, please do this quickly. I have created the form that is having username and password. Right, I have created a form which is having username and password and saved in my server directory, htdocs, and with a new folder. So it is login system.php. Let's open, then I just want to open MAMP. And okay, my servers are running. Let me access this localhost 8888, then login system is my folder name. Okay, here I am. And you can write the username and password there and click on the login. Okay, please do this quickly. Let me know once you're done. Right, if you want, do that in the online environment also. So in that case, you have to log into the file manager and edit the same, create a file and edit it, save it. That's all. So after creating that, you can access using the domain name. Let's say I have purchased domain name zia.com and there I'm accessing login sys.php file and showing me the form. So either online or offline method, both. Either internet-based hosting, or either you can locally host it. Both hostings are accepted. So wherever you go, you have to create the same thing. Okay, then so let's. I'm updating the local file because it's faster for me, and that's why I'm accessing the local file. And here's that login system. And okay, so let's edit the file. I just need another one that is a table raw. So let me copy and paste the same table row which is given for the password, and I need a text box. This is remember me. I think you have seen this kind of things in most of the websites. Type checkbox. Sometimes when you log into a web page, we call remember me. Let's say RM. I'm just saving as RM, and it's a checkbox. And then you can see when you refresh this, you have small checkbox for remember me. That is to remember the username and password. Right? Please add the text box also. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remember this. Right? I'm going to remember these things using a cookie. Let me remember this using cookie. Right? Okay. Write this. Just give me a second. Just getting some messages. Sorry for that. Sorry about that. Let me just. Okay, I think it's. Okay. Then after giving this remember me, then you can use a cookie. How do we use a cookie? Right? How do we use a cookie? Is actually a cookie is similar to this $post, $get. And if so, let's create the next PHP file. That PHP file is what? This is login.php. Okay, I'm going to create a new file that is a PHP file. PHP. This is actually login.php. In this PHP file, what I'm going to do is I'm going to define a cookie, right? I'm going to define a cookie for username and password. Okay, to do that, I'm using setCookie function. setCookie function. setCookie. Then the value is username, and that should come from $_post. This we learned last day. It should come from the username text box. And not only that, you have to give a expiration time for this cookie. That is the current time. Current time is the time now, plus let's say 3600 seconds. 3600 seconds means 1 hour. Is it? 3600 means seconds. You divide by 60. It is then 0. 36 means 60 minutes. Yes, then 60 minutes means 1 hour. You're setting this cookie for 1 hour, current time plus 1 hour. And you can change this by giving a large number even. You have to give it in seconds. Then password you have to remember in the same way. Password you have to remember in the same way. And you can echo successful. For this, actually, this should happen. This is password is pass, right? So I remember pass. What's the password here? Login system. Oh, let me save this again. I'm going to save this in.
So the cookie one is not changed to password. First one.
Oh yes, yes. Let's change it. Ma'am, htdocs, login system, and this one is a login.php, and this should be the set cookie should be password. Username. This is username and this is password. UN and pass. Let's check this. UN and pass. Okay, those are the variables passing, and I'm setting this actually. So this should be done if it is not set. That means if already set, that means some that is already login person. So that means you can check that by checking the emptiness. If empty, if this is not empty, if not empty, what? Not empty, $_post remember. So if someone has clicked this $_remember post remember, then only you have to check the set the cookies. Otherwise, you don't want to set the cookies, you can forget the login. Else, you can forget the login. Forgetting can be done by either expiring the cookie or making that empty. Here I click the remember RM. If I click the RM, then only I have to remember set the cookies. Otherwise, I can set empty cookie or I can expire the cookie. So you can use the same set cookie function. Username need to be empty and password need to be empty too. Set cookie within bracket username, and that is going to be empty, not going to set any username, and also the password need to set that as empty. Okay, this is how you set in the cookies. If you ask to remember, then you have to remember the username and password. And the value of this is you can reference this cookie from anywhere. Cookie will be remembered in your browser. Right? Cookies are remembered in your browser. If you want, you can just go and see where the cookies are remembered. You can go to the settings. There, I think it's related to privacy and security. Here, you can see the cookies and other site data. So these are the cookies that already remember. There are some cookies. You can just see if there are some cookies. Here, see all cookies and site data. And then you can see different cookies from different sites. Different cookies from different sites. These sites have some cookies set in my browser. Right? That may be to track me. That may be to remember my status. Maybe so remember my use preferences. Mama search karapu eva ehama mataka tiyaga. Man nitara search karane me account.google.com. It has some cookies, and Huawei Cloud having some lot of cookies. Set of cookies are there in your computer if you are not cleared. Remove කරේ නැත්නම් cookies ගොඩක් තියෙනවා. අපි මෙතනට අවිල්ලා බලන්න පුළුවන් මේ cookies මොනවාද කියලාත්. Right here in my side, actually localhost, still I have not set the cookie. But if I set this, if I write this, okay, let's say my username is Dasun and password is 123, and I click the remember me and log in this and successful, then you can go to the settings and see this cookie. What is the cookie name? Remember, oh, it's a username, password. It is localhost, right? Oh, localhost. No, it's not there. Username. Let me refresh. Localhost. Here, 2 cookies. Localhost has 2 cookies. So what are they? Username and password. Username is this one, and password is 123. You can read that, right? But it's not a very good method to remember things using cookies, but it will be remembered in your computer. The password will be now remembered. You can see password is now remembered and username is now remembered in your computer. You can go to the settings, privacy and security, then access the security and read the cookie details. Okay, now you see the cookies are saved. Now the advantage is when you go to this page, if the cookie is set, when you go to this page, if cookie is set, you can just put the password automatically. You can remember the password. That can be done by moving to this, and I can go to this one and I can apply here value equal. This is a PHP. I'm going to write a PHP code here. If actually is set $_cookie, then the cookie name is set $_cookie actually. So what is the cookie name? Is set $_cookie username. The username is username. username. Then question mark, actually this is called ternary statement. If set this, you echo that. Set if else wage tama meka. It looks like if else, it's a single statement. Echo is set, if is set username, if is set the username, then you echo that username. Otherwise it'll keep as empty. This is single statement. This is a single statement to print that username. Let's refresh. You can see Dasun is now some error. Error means something wrong here. PHP value equal PHP is set. Okay. $_ cookie username $cookie. Okay, username. Ternary statement. If it is yes, question mark. Is set this. The bracket is missing. Set this, then print the cookie username. Otherwise, empty. Refresh. Okay, done. Password also you can do the same. Let's copy this. And for password also you can set the value like this. Value is set $cookie password. You can echo that password. You can echo that password. If not, leave as it is. Let's remember. So you can see 1, 2, 3 is automatically now coming because I have ticked the remember. Now I'm not taking the remember. I just log in. And that will make my cookies empty. When I come back and refresh, you can see this is empty now because I untick the remember, right? Okay. Then, okay with this? I hope you can write the code. It's lengthy, I know. So basically, cookie base login. You have to print the username and password if cookie is set. And this is my login.php. It's just setting the cookies. Actually, this need to be done with some validation. You have to first check the database and check whether the valid username and password given. Otherwise, it will remember anything. So let's do the validation later. Now you can just add this part, this code, right? This is our index.php code. Let's write the validation code in the next step. Validation means you have to select from the database. After selecting the database, you have to check whether the username and password in the database. If that is in the database, then you can allow the login. Otherwise, you can send the user back to this page. That let's do that later. First of all, try this, the cookie-based login. In actual cases, you have to you need validation too, right? Validation means like you have to. So here actually we have sent this through the database now. From the database, you can just print all the details. We learned how to echo these details last day from the database. Here, select all. So did you write that? This is how to insert to the database, right? So not how to display that. But let's say I think we wrote how to display also, right? Add into the database. List in this in. We have not done that. Here list all. Yeah, we have done. List all.php. We have given the login and then connect to the database and listed that. So you can use this code actually. This part you can use it and for validation. That means you can just connect to the database and here local loss and then connecting. No need to display this all users and then the DB user, select all from the user. And here you have to tell where username select all from user, where username means which username, actually email, no? Username, our username is email in the database. Do we have password there in our database? So let's check. This is localhost PHP MyAdmin. And here it is. Localhost PHP MyAdmin and DB user. In DB user, you have in the details, let's search table user. It has no data. So in the browse, you can see the data. Yes, email and password is there. Dasun@jits.lk ASDDS email and password. It's there. So we can get details from that. How? That means we can tell that email and pass. Where email equal to, then you can give concatenation $post username. But actually, this code should run if is set $_post username. Only this should happen. That means like the user should enter the credentials. Otherwise, you can tell that, okay, echo else, echo enter username and password. Right? Okay, now here, if it is set in the username, if username is set, you just log into the database and you select all from the table user where email equal this email. And where email equal this email username. And then you don't want to get the details. You can say $O equal MySQL fetch as of the resource. After that, the password will come here. This is 0, 1. Password will come as pass. Then you can tell if $, then the pass is equal to, if it is equal to the given password, $post password. If $_pass, that is the database password, if that is equal to the password given by the user. If that is okay only, then only you check the emptiness of this and then you try to set the cookie. Otherwise, no need to set the cookie even. If password is not equal, no need to set the cookie even. Because for home password, why should you set the username this cookie? Then you can say error else. Here you can say error in echo. Maybe you can say invalid details. Likewise, you can verify the user whether user credentials are equal in the database with the entered credentials. Then only it's supporting the login. Here in this case, now if you go to the website and if you give some wrong data, it will not log in. Instead of that, it's